it though. Like I don't really, yeah.
Didn't it just like surpass like one of those other Marvel? Like,
Yeah, yep,
yeah.
yep. It came out yesterday, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like I saw something passing.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Good evening, everyone. It is now 6 o'clock, and we would like to call our special called meeting to order on July 31st, 2026. Miss Miss Ross, would you please read the roll
Mr.
for
Diaz,
quorum?
Mrs. Howard,
Here.
Mrs. Rose,
Present.
Mrs. Ross, Mrs. Wilson,
Present.
Dr. Wilson,
Present.
President McCall.
Here.
We have 7 present.
Thank you. May we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We are now at the point of presentation from audience. We received 8 cards. Everybody normally gets 5 minutes. And in fairness to those who would like to speak, we have 2 options. We can either leave it at the 5 minutes per speaker, or we can grant these 8 people 3 minutes each so that we can hear from everyone. Board, what is your pleasure? Just consensus.
I would do 3 minutes each.
What's your consensus?
3 minutes each is fine.
Sure.
3 minutes.
Ms.
3
Ross?
minutes is fine.
Ms. Wilson? Dr.
5
Wilson?
minutes. But I mean,
Okay.
its consensus is 3.
All right, so the board has conceded to give every speaker 3 minutes so that we can hear from everyone. Our first speaker tonight is Dr. Mark McConnell of New Cornerstone Baptist Church.
Good evening. Thank you, Dr. McConnell and Vice President Ross, Superintendent Bell, to all of the board, to all who are here on this evening. One of the greatest responsibilities of public leadership is not simply to solve today's problems, it is to prevent tomorrow's problems. Programs like ELITE are built on that principle. They seek to identify barriers before those barriers become lifelong burdens. A child who struggles with attendance today may become a student who drops out tomorrow. A student who lacks positive guidance today may become a young adult caught in a cycle of unemployment, crime, or hopelessness tomorrow. A young person who simply needs someone to believe in them today may become a productive citizen, a business owner, a teacher, a nurse, or even a leader in this very community tomorrow. The question is not whether intervention costs money. Every intervention does. The real question is whether we will invest early when lives can still be redirected, or pay far greater costs later after problems have become deeply rooted. Education has always been more than teaching reading and mathematics. It is also about developing character, responsibility, resilience, and hope. Programs like ELITE recognize that students cannot always learn effectively until someone helps remove the obstacles standing in the way of learning. An investment in prevention is not simply an expense, it is one of the wisest investments a community can make, because preventing failure will almost always cost less than repairing its consequences. Thank you.
Our next speaker will be Mr. Devon Sidnor.
I did most of it was on Monday. I'm gonna try. No problem. Basically, what I need to say is I have a problem with the fact that Mr. Cannon's program, Elite, has been in existence. I was talking to some of the members today. He's been in existence in the schools for almost 20 years. Almost 20 years. And then all of a sudden, due to a shortfall with these audits with District 150, this program is looking to get cut. And I struggle with that. Because like I told you guys before, I've mentored at Manual. I've mentored my whole life out of Tree Wind. And it's needed in the black community. I'm going to emphasize black community. It's needed. So sometimes when people can't relate to what's going on, I really do struggle with it. And the other thing I wanted to say, I'm trying to be short. We sat in here last Monday, and I'm on many boards, and I have been for years. It got real contentious. And you know I'm looking at you for a reason, sir. It got real contentious, and I did not like it. No decorum, the way things went down, and I don't know why this is going on at the school board meeting. I don't get it. I don't understand it. You're supposed to be working for these kids. Everybody. And all of a sudden it's who got who. Tit for tat. It's nonsense. You need to be working for these damn kids. You need to. And I mean that. Out from the bottom of my heart. That's why I'm in these schools when I was. They need it. They really do need it. I'm sorry I get a little emotional because I care about these damn kids. And this little tit for tat needs to stop. I'm sorry. And I'll cut it short for the 3 minutes.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Ms. Lynn Kostick.
Ooh, it's good to be on this side of the horseshoe. Yes, sir. I'm telling you. Hi, my name is Lynn Kossick, and I live at 1820 North Mission Avenue, Peoria. Ladies and gentlemen of the Board of Education, since I only have 3 minutes, I'm going to talk fast. Okay, I come before you today to speak in support of the ELITE program, a safe school initiative designed to support students who are struggling with behavior issues, truancy, and other challenges that may be hindering their success in the classroom. I understand that there may be some members who are hesitant to move forward with the program, but I truly believe that the ELITE program has the potential to make a significant difference in the lives of some of our most challenging, our most vulnerable students. I'm telling you a little bit about how the program works as well as I understand it. Okay, I know that principals send a recommendation. It used to be to Dr. Coleman. I don't know if it still is. But anyway, that recommendation is forwarded on to Student Services Shannon Marlin, who reviews the recommendation, and then she sends a recommendation to the ELITE Game Changers. Mr. Cannon reviews the records that are sent to him in the district, and an orientation is set up with a parent and/or guardian. The students, upon acceptance, the student is set up through the computer online learning platform by district personnel. As someone who has had the privilege of participating in the ELITE outreach program and witnessing firsthand the positive impact it has had on students, I can attest to the effectiveness of this program. There have been several comments alluding to certified teachers. Let's be clear. Teachers are hired through District 150 and assigned to ELITE by Peoria Public Schools. They are assigned to work with the students, providing them with support and guidance they need to succeed. Now, if the prospective teacher is not certified as it's been claimed, then the district's at fault. ELITE staff. I've seen the dedication and the passion in the ELITE staff who specializes in their approach to working with students who are struggling academically and behaviorally. They are caring, consistent, conscientious, capable, champions, caretakers, and relentless in their effort to help these students succeed. The students do not spend their days glued to computer screens. Keep in mind, the Acellus online platform is the platform used daily in the traditional classroom. Talk about that. Instead, they engage with books, guest speakers, life skills, worksheets, study guides, and etc. They receive individualized help in areas in which they may be struggling. I had an opportunity to tutor through University of Illinois at Elite. That is why I know a little bit about the program. Second page here. There's been some conversation as to about when these kids return to school. Let's talk about that for a minute. Before a student is allowed to return to their school, a meeting is set up with the principal, the
Mrs.
students, the parent and or guardian, the teacher, and the game changers.
Mrs. Costick, if you'll pause, because that was the
That's my 3 minutes?
Yeah. But
Pam.
if we have time at the end, if you want to finish, we will
I
stay
would,
in the same.
you know, I really would, because there are some important things I need to bring out in this.
Right. If
Okay.
some of the other speakers
Somebody give me their time.
don't use their time,
Thank you.
this who's
Pull a card. Pull a card.
okay? Who is it? Consensus? Yeah. Is that okay with the board for Ms. Terrell to yield her time? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Terrell. Just let her have 5 minutes. Okay. Is that okay with everyone? 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, Ms. Costick, please
Thank you.
carry on.
Okay. The ELITE program is a game changer for these students. For the naysayer, if you have not taken the time to visit and see the program in action, stop in. See the program. The staff works hard with each and every student. The students are not taught in silos. Don't get it twisted. Just because a staff member may not hold a degree does not mean that that person is not capable of helping a student with their classwork. Say something. There are members of the staff that excel in math, history, English, and other courses in which students are taught in the traditional classroom setting. I gotta skip because I need to get to this. Okay, you know, in closing, I believe the ELITE program will greatly benefit our student, school community, and district. I urge the board to move beyond the initial concerns and support this program for the good of our students and the educational system. Questions? What are the violations that ELITE has been cited, and when, if ever, as a new administration, are those violations going to become known? Because, you know, I got an inquiring mind, and I'd like to know. Why was ELITE assigned? Why was ELITE assigned a code that was used by Greeley and not provided a new code, which ultimately resulted in a so-called citation or violation? Another question. If I'm not mistaken, I think Knoxville Center for Success is a safe school for high schoolers. Do they take special ed IEPs? 504s? Okay. Question. Okay, where did the notion come from that ELITE had not sought funding from any other sources except PPS? Why was the contract held by Dr. Karat for 2 months? Why was ELITE not given an opportunity to address the alleged 18 violations? And why were they not informed of those violations? Ask
Thank
yourself,
you, Ms. Costick.
how is the district?
Okay. All right, thank you. Our next speaker is Twinda Forrest. Twinda Forrest. Thank you.
Oh, hello, everybody. I'm so glad to be standing right here. I got a lot to say because I'm a parent. And I want to speak, my thing is speak about Rontavious Roberts, a straight A student that most of his grade school education was homeschooled. You know, because I really, 150 is not for me. And it's not for him. We're talking about an AB student that's at school every day, is being brought up in a Christian-based home, very well mannered. He was at Quest, okay, you guys shut down Quest. He was going to Roosevelt, and I pulled him out of Roosevelt because of the bullying, me not being able to touch base with the teachers, you know, him being blown off. So Quest reached out, I sent him there. All those 2 years straight, no problems. No problems. I go to school, good things, and then all of a sudden y'all shut down Quest. He got sent to Roosevelt, in which they called the police on him. We're talking about a kid that went from this good kid to here. You know, and then I pulled him out of Roosevelt. Then he ended up at Calvin Coolidge. They called the police on him. So my thing is, I guess we're here now because Elite One needs funding to help the kids that basically y'all throwing away, because y'all threw him away. And I picked him up, a straight A student, never been suspended, never got in trouble. I go to the school, they tell me how good of a kid he is, don't cuss, very well mannered, and I got degrees. So I'm not a black parent sitting here dumb, not uneducated. I'm big when it comes to education. And when he went to Rolling Acres, I communicated with them. You know, he lost both parents. I'm the parent that you can work with. If it's something that he's doing that he wouldn't do around me, let me know. We can communicate this. And we're going to talk about the board meeting I had to come and sit in. Me and him, the only black people, everyone, no disrespect, but you got 3 white people. And the lady was waving her hand in my face, but I understood. I understood what the devil was doing. You think all black parents come in and we all are unruly. No, we're not. We're not. And through all his education, that's all I ever wanted was somebody to work with me. You know, I'm open-minded. And they'll tell him what he might not do, but y'all failed him. And see, now he's finna go to manual. And I'm sitting here now trying to ask everybody, you got a kid to go to manual? Because I don't want him to go. I asked Elite, do y'all do high school? Because if I had the option to keep him out of y'all hands and let him go to Elite where people listen to him, where he was able to be heard, that's all he needs. He gonna make the grades. He scored high on all his SATs. A, B student, and 150 didn't do that. Most of his schooling in grade school, I can't give y'all credit. Oh, he went to this school. No, it was homeschooling that I paid for. And when y'all recommend him for Elite, he didn't go that year. I wouldn't let him go. I called them, what kind of school is y'all? This is what I'm experiencing with different 150. And from what I understand, it's the law that the kid be provided an education. So why is we here trying to decide on whether or not y'all gonna provide funding, but y'all throwing the kids away?
Thank you.
Oh, can't answer that one, can you?
All right, our next speaker for 3 minutes is Miss Carrie Alms.
Hang on, I want to put on my timer because it's 3 minutes now and.
The secretary keeps the time.
I know that, but I need to see it in front of me.
Yeah,
Thank you.
secretary keeps the time.
Thank you for this opportunity to speak. Stone Soup, all community members, whether elected, paid staff, volunteers, and everyone else, are making our community Stone Soup. It is imperative that we all contribute our best and that when mistakes are made, we individually or collectively accept responsibility and make any and all necessary corrections. Monday's meeting ended in pandemonium, wild, noisy, confusion, uproar, and chaos. Why was that? Because the process and communication are missing. Because the meeting is continually conducted in a confusing and disorderly manner. The consent agenda, so adding to the confusion was adding additional items that seem to have been of a controversial nature, and revising the agenda creates more confusion for everyone. Back to the consent agenda. The consent agenda, once it is queued up, needs to be presented as a whole, and items removed or read as a whole and then removed. The problem is that you are removing items before the consent agenda is brought forward in its entirety. Items cannot and should not be removed prior to the entire consent agenda being presented for a vote as a whole. Once the consent agenda is presented in its entirety, board members are asked by the chair if any items need to be removed. At this point, any item can be removed by a board member without discussion or a vote being necessary. Once all items have been removed, the remaining items on the consent agenda are voted on. Once that vote has occurred, each item that was pulled off or removed is then brought forward, discussed, and voted on. What happened on Monday? The process was completely not orderly. It appeared a random process. You had the board's legal counsel saying something, one board member pulling it off, other board members not knowing. It was just an absolute mess. Because the item was pulled off before the entire consent agenda was put up for consideration, a volcano of chaos erupted. So please, learn how to conduct a meeting, read all the consent agenda, pull items off, vote on the consent agenda, and then discuss items one by one. Going on 30 days, the public is still wondering which board members have been assigned to which committees and when those assignments will be released for the public. When will regular meeting schedule of each committee with dates, times, and location of each committee be published for the public to put them on their calendar? We have been told, please volunteer. It takes the village to improve our community. We will go further together, not divided. Mutual respect, self-discipline, and ethical behaviors per a sworn oath and all of us in this room in this community.
Absolutely.
And decorum matters.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Our next speaker is Mr. Carl Cannon.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, and members of the board community. I don't have a lot to say today. Simply said, education, not incarceration. Yes. Break down those costs. I've been on both sides of that professionally. We have got to decide this is going to be education. No more throwaways. Understand pre-safe school. We suspended, they went home. We expelled, they stayed home. Suspension meant go home with a laptop. That's what it meant, go home with a laptop. They weren't learning. We don't just take them into the safe school, put them with a laptop, and don't teach. We give them a barrage of social emotional learning, understanding that we have to get behavior under control. Our teachers deserve to have the opportunity to teach. Education versus incarceration. Our job, our forte, is to get behavior under control. That way, American heroes, teachers, get a chance to put those capes on and teach. That is America's answers to the streets. That's simply said. And if you don't tell me the rules, if I don't know, I can't fix them. Nobody has said we've ever done anything wrong. Because if you know Carl Cannon, you tell me that we haven't done this or that, we're gonna keep doing, we'll improve. But if I don't know, how am I gonna fix it? That's not fair. What we do with the kids when they come in, we put the rules up front. Don't come in here cursing. Don't come in here like you left that building with the parent at the table. And the rules we apply in the classroom are the rules we expect at home. So not only do they get help in the school building, they get help in the home, in the neighborhood. That's why, Lee. That's why we're part of the answer and not part of the problem. And so are you. Thank you for serving.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Alita Brick or Bruce? Brock. Oh, Brock. I'm sorry. Trying to understand the writing.
Hi, my name is Alita Brock, and I would like to thank the board and Elite for allowing me to speak today. I've been employed with the district for almost a decade. I am a certified teacher, and early this year, I had the opportunity to work within the Elite program. During this time, I collaborated with two amazing teachers while assisting students with 6th through 8th grade academic skills. I am truly grateful for the opportunity and honestly believe this program helps students and their family lives in so many ways. I was amazed on how the program is designed to assist each family. The lead staff, the teachers, and the parents work together to improve our students' character. Each family has an assigned elite support staff they can contact when they're struggling, need an ear, or even advice. I really love that the students have elite support after re-entering into the district. I really believe this is an important aspect of the program, especially during the beginning of the transitional phase students endure upon entering their homeschool. I was able to assist students with little disruptions. The students respected the teachers and the lead staff and have followed the classroom rules. The structure of the program allowed the students to focus on academic growth while developing positive character traits that will truly help them and their family. I strongly believe this program is a great bridge for the students and their families before entering high school. Side note, before I became employed with the district, my twins were placed in the elite program. Elite support improved our lives. This program motivated my children and I to become who we are today. I would like to thank Mr. Cannon and Elite staff for not only helping my family, but continue to helping families within the district. Thank you.
And our last speaker tonight will be Miss Vatanya Terrell, because the board gave her the 5 minutes. So if you still want to speak, Ms. Terrell, you may. And this is our last speaker. Okay, and this is our last speaker. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am a game changer. I'm here today because our contract means more than just a piece of paper. It represents an opportunity and commitment and work that we have put in together. We understand the decisions have to be made, budgets have to be considered, and expectations have to be met. But before the contract is allowed to end, I'm asking that we take a step back and look at what we have accomplished, what we have learned, and what we are still capable of achieving. We are already invested in our time, our energy, and our resources into this building and in building a relationship. We know that it works. We know where the improvements need to be made. We have the ability to make those improvements. We are not asking for a free pass. We are asking for an opportunity to prove ourselves. If there are any concerns about the performance, communication, deadlines, or results, let's address them. If we are expectations we have not met, let's establish clear goals and measurement standards. Give us the opportunity to correct what needs to be corrected, demonstrate what we can do, and given a chance. Ending our contract may be the easiest decision, but it's not the best one. Saving the contract gives us the opportunity to build being stronger. It allows us to take lessons from the past and turn them into better results in the future. We are willing to listen. We are willing to improve. We are important. We are willing to work. So today I'm asking you not to close the door yet. Give us an opportunity, give us a clear expectation and a chance and a time to deliver. Let's not end something that still has potential, because we know the district depends on us. We have an overflow. Every year, I've been in this program for 13 years, and I love what I do, and I have kids, and you don't have to go to college. I didn't go to college, but I got that attitude, because when them kids come in there, that's all that matters. We love what we do. We saving lives.
All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for your cooperation. Response to audience presentation, Dr. Bell?
Thank you, Dr. McConnell. I'll just briefly say thank everyone for coming out, and for those who spoke, you've been heard. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Item number 6, the approval of July 1 and 13, 2026 minutes. Motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Is there a
Second.
second? Thank you. Madam Secretary for the roll.
Mr. Diaz, Mrs. Howard,
Aye.
Mrs. Rose,
Aye.
Mrs. Ross, Mrs. Wilson,
Aye.
Dr. Wilson,
Aye.
President McCall.
Aye.
We have 7 ayes, motion carries.
All right. Action items. Mrs. Ross.
Thank you. I guess I turned my mic on. Thank you. The first one on the, well, the only one on the agenda is the approval of, motion to approve the memorandum of understanding between Elite Community Outreach, Inc. and Peoria Public Schools regarding the Game Changers program.
Sorry, is there any?
Madam President?
Yes. May I get I need a first and I need a second.
I wanted to make a motion, a different motion.
You want to make a amendment?
Amendment, there you go.
Okay, you want to make an amendment to
I
the,
think you
Yeah.
have to have the.
okay, do we need to have, discussion on the first? Okay.
Okay.
Any, discussion, from anyone on item number 1?
I have questions for the Regional Office of Education.
They're not on
But you got to stay within, what is, you
So
have a
I'm
question?
waiting for the discussion section, which will come after the motion section. Is that what
This is the, discussion. What is your statement? What do you want to say?
Well, so I read the MOU, and I would like to ask the ROE, based on that letter that we received earlier today, if we go ahead and approve this MOU tonight, and they are found to be not compliant, do we lose the RSSP grant? But then he sent that letter, so I want to know if he could explain to me and to the rest of the board, with him pulling the RSP grant, are we going to fully fund the $624,000, or will they be, like, will we invoice them for the grant? Will Elite invoice them for the grant? I would like clarity on who's paying which parts.
Okay, so the questions noted, Dr. Bell, and I see Mr. McKenna here. Is there any other person with a unreadiness? Because it might be it may be the same question. Do you have a unreadiness?
Yeah, but I guess I was, do we have a second, or we go through?
I'm accepting the unreadiness. This is the discussion period
So
about
then-
what is being offered.
Okay, so I've got questions on the memorandum of understanding, and quite a bit, so,
What do you mean quite a bit?
well, on the contract and how we're moving
On
forward.
the MOU, okay.
Correct, and as well as to, Dr. McKenna.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other questions?
Clarify the letter from.
Right, I mean, I will. I just want to get everybody's unreadiness now so that when they speak and when Mr. McKenna speak, he might can answer everybody at the same time. So is there anybody else with a question or unreadiness? Anybody else? Does anybody else besides Diaz and Rose have any questions?
I think there may be questions based on what Mr. McKenna from the ROE is going to say.
Okay,
So
all right.
I think
So we're gonna-
because we had an intervening circumstance, which
Right.
was the receipt of this letter from the ROE today, it's going to be beneficial to hear from them, and then that may
Right.
generate more questions.
Right, so that is why I'm asking, does anybody else have any other questions before Mr. McKenna comes?
What is the motion in the amendment?
Okay.
I don't have
This
any
is a discussion. We are at a discussion point. Thank you, and there's no comments from the gallery, please. All right, so then, yeah, you have
Could
another
you
question?
just clarify that we will get a second opportunity to potentially ask questions depending on?
Mr. McKenna is going to speak. Dr. Bell, I'm going to yield to Dr. Bell in this moment. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. McConnell. In order to help the full board get a grasp of the goings-on and what transpired earlier today, I'm going to ask the Regional Office of Education's Superintendent, Dr. George McKenna, to please come up to the podium, if you don't mind, sir.
All right, thank you.
Dr. McConnell, if you will you share with the board what you shared with me earlier via email?
Yes. Hi, Dr. George McKenna here, Regional Superintendent of Schools, Peoria County. This morning I sent a letter to Peoria Public Schools indicating that we would take over the fiscal responsibilities of the Regional Safe Schools program grant. And simply what that means, instead of having those funds flow through us in a direct payment to Peoria Public Schools, we will take on the grant, we will take on the amendments, we will do all the paperwork associated with the grant, and that those funds then would flow through us to Peoria Public Schools, but more in a reimbursable expense model. So the money won't just be sent in whole, we'll get paperwork in, and then we will reimburse expenses associated with any decision ultimately that is made regarding safe school, regional safe school related programming.
Thank you, Dr. McKenna. I believe we have some questions, Madam President, from fellow board members of Dr. McKenna.
So now, does that answer yours, Ms. Rose?
Not entirely.
Sure.
Am I okay to ask it?
What's your follow-up question?
Yeah, Dr. McKenna, I understand the reimbursement process. I guess I want clarity that no matter what decision we make tonight, we will, through reimbursement, receive the full RSSP grant. Is that correct?
Yes, so to be clear, we will still make sure that the money associated with the RSSP grant, the Regional Safe Schools Grant, flows through to the district to provide service, all of it, in its entirety.
So just for clarity's sake, there is no outcome where PPS is footing the entire $624,000 on the agenda item?
Correct.
Okay, thank you for that clarity.
Thank you. Mr. Diaz?
So I guess I'm trying to understand the reimbursement model being different than the money coming straight through. What's the rationale or what's the legal difference there?
So what we decided at the ROE is that we want to be great stewards of the money that is given to us in good faith from the state. Oftentimes what you'll find is that as you add layers in between the grantee, which is the ROE, right, that is our funding, and services to children, oftentimes oversight, accountability, and then I think sometimes there's a sense of a lack of transparency or a perception of a lack of transparency. What we've decided to do in this moment, and there's no better time to do it than now, is to simply take that grant and take the oversight of that grant back.
So when you say the oversight, would you then contract with whatever company runs? Or you would still expect District 150 to choose whoever the contractor is? We would front the money and then depending on, as you said, the stewardship of the funds, is there any situation where you would say, no, we're only reimbursing 80% of the expenses you submitted this month?
We would not have any plan and any even discussion about not making sure that all of that money flows to the Safe School program, as is going to be decided by the board. It will be year to year, ultimately, because we have an agreement every year. But at this point, we don't. Our organization is a service-related organization. We come up beside the district to help add value to the students who are attending, to the educators that are attending to our students every day, and to the district, right? So we're building communities together. We want and know that money is important. Amen. And so what we want to do is make sure that we provide it.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Diaz, if you'll pause, because I want to give everybody the opportunity. Thank you. Ms. Wilson?
Hi, Dr. McKenna. Have you had a chance to read the memorandum of understanding that we're voting on tonight?
I have not read the memorandum of understanding regarding your potential contracting of services with Elite.
Right.
And that is not, and if I'll go back to his question, that's not our lane.
Okay.
Right? Our lane is, we have an agreement with PPS.
Okay.
To give resources. And so we have not read the MOU. You have a great legal staff, so this is just outside our lane.
Okay, I guess because my thought is it's for $624,000, and if you're responsible for $304,000 of it, would that mean that we should put language in here that includes you guys into the memorandum of understanding with us?
There. No.
Like we're.
I'll let Satterley.
I'm sorry, they're two separate
Fraser.
pieces, right? What Dr. McKenna is talking about is an intergovernmental agreement between the ROE and the district for the disbursement of the funds. Part of the issue is, one, we don't have that new IGA in effect that encompasses the intention of their letter for the ROE to be the one dispersing the grant funds. The MOU with Elite is the contract between PPS and the vendor as Elite. So they're two separate pieces. So you all would approve that. He's just talking about the IGA, and then we can talk a little bit more about.
And if you would, and I know we're all used to the acronyms, but if you could define IGA so that everybody leaves here with the same understanding.
Sure.
Okay.
It's an intergovernmental agreement.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions?
Mrs. Wilson reminded me of a question. Can I ask another question?
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna hold on. Mr. Diaz, I'm gonna give you one more question, and then we're gonna go to Rose.
Okay. You had said you're providing then the fiscal oversight. Then is that partnering with the district then to do audits? Or again, what exactly are we going to change the language in the current the intergovernmental agreement that we had agreed to 2 weeks ago? Like, what is the change here that is happening? And when you say it's the fiscal oversight, what is it that you're going to be judging this district by to receive full compensation?
Sure, and I know when we talk about the possibility of and at least in your question, the possibility of funds potentially not flowing through, I'm going to be very clear. Our whole intent is to make sure that that money goes to Peoria Public Schools. And it's hard from a perspective of saying what are the circumstances that you would potentially consider not giving that full amount. And in my mind, we haven't discussed that. We haven't even thought of that because that is not our point. Our point is to make sure that the students get as best quality learning environment as possible. And I am to a degree, although it is our money and as a grantee, we're going to be involved in the process, obviously, because the money is flowing. But we're entrusting that Peoria Public Schools is also the educators, the admin team that has decades of experience in education, a deep understanding of the community and what student needs are, that they have a plan, they're developing a plan that is in their best interest. We just want to pull up alongside and say, how do we help facilitate that? And so when you say, how do you possibly come to some sort of conclusion about how maybe only 80% of the money would flow, that's not even in our thought process.
All right, thank you. Mrs. Rose?
Okay, I'm not sure if my question is to Dr. McKenna or Dr. Bell or someone else, but I read the MOU, and in the MOU, it states that we are bound to confidentiality of all the things in the MOU, including the breakdown of finances. And I have a question about, like, we're a public entity and we deal with the public's money, and so we obviously are legally obligated to post everybody's salaries, and the grant money is public money, and so if it's paid for with the grant money and our money, is it ethical or legal to enter into this MOU where where elite salaries are private and not available for the public, I guess is my question, and I'm not sure who to direct it at, but I just want to make sure that we're not entering into something that goes against the way we operate.
Well, I would, Board Member Rose, I would yield to our legal counsel here, Jen and/or Frazier.
Yes, so we agree that there are some issues with the MOU, the provisions in the MOU that do need to be reviewed and revised by us. Up until yesterday, we haven't had an opportunity to review the MOU prior to this. So that is one of the provisions that we would recommend revising. So when you do ultimately approve an MOU, if you do, our recommendation is that the approval will be subject to attorney review and revisions.
Thank you. Is there anybody else with any questions? Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion on item number 1.
Yeah, Madam President?
Yes.
I'd like to make a amended motion.
Yes, sir.
School starts next week, of course. We have a responsibility to our student population, including our most vulnerable student population, and to be fiscally responsible. In order to provide time to understand where we are, I move to amend the motion to approve the MOU by limiting the term to the first semester of the 26-27 school year and limiting the cost to $312,000, subject to attorney revisions of the MOU to give everybody time to plan accordingly.
All right, is there a second? to the substitute motion?
I'm sorry, is there currently a motion on the floor to approve the MOU?
No. Yes, I did ask for one. I asked for a motion to approve.
Okay.
And then he offered a substitute motion.
Okay, let's move forward first with the motion to approve it, and then Greg can offer the motion to amend.
Okay, that's what I did.
I gotta
So,
say that again.
so I asked for a motion to approve item number 1. And he said, may I offer a substitute motion?
Okay,
So,
so long as all the board members are okay with that?
well, yeah, if he's making a motion.
Is there a
So
second?
is there a second? That was what I was asking for. Is there a second?
We didn't, no one had motioned to approve the original item. So Greg is the first person to offer a motion.
He offered a substitute to the motion that is item number 1. Is there a second?
I will give him a second.
Thank you. Now, we're ready for discussion
Okay.
on this motion, on the substitute motion.
I had something I would like to say, kind of like Dr. Wilson just had something to say. It's not a question. Am I okay to read that? It's
This
part
is-
of this, yeah.
This is the open
Okay, thank you.
discussion point, yeah.
Okay. On Monday evening, this room was full of people, and it is again tonight, who love our students. So even if we never all agree on what's best for them, I am so glad that our students have so many people who care about them. I am thankful to Elite and Game Changers for working with our students when we did not have the infrastructure to provide the safe school ourselves. That being said, I know that our teachers did not discard our students, and that is hurtful to hear. Now that we are in a position to start working towards providing the safe school again, that does not mean that I personally want Elite to completely leave our district. I would love to see Elite continue to support our students in other capacities, such as after-school programs, intercession activities, mentor programs, etc. That being said, I had several concerns that I've addressed tonight, and I am excited about the possibility of working with Dr. Wilson on a compromise. Thank you all.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion on this motion? Mr. Diaz?
So more, as part of the motion, do we need, or how would you say splitting it 50-50 with the ROE as well? Because that's how the original one is, right? We're essentially splitting it 50-50. Would we need to include that?
I'm assuming, yeah, this is just to give both parties time to see where we're at. So I don't know how that quite works, Mr. Diaz. Maybe legal
That
can
is
kind of
not,
chime in.
Can I make a friendly amendment?
That is not a provision in the MOU. So that will be in the intergovernmental agreement with the ROE. They're two separate things.
Is the intergovernmental agreement that we would sign with the ROE going to be different than the one that we signed on the 13th?
Yes.
So Dr. Wilson's motion was for $312,000
For 300.
and $12,000,
Right.
correct? So the RSSP grant is $304,000. So
Correct.
is it safe to assume that the grant is going to still cover $304,000 and we would just pick up the remainder? Dr. Bell, Dr. McKenna, somebody?
Yes, that's safe to assume. Yes.
And then I'd like to add just a comment. Did you have something to say?
For one semester? Is the 304 for the whole year?
It's
No,
just the
it's-
Safe School
We can use
grant.
it for the, okay.
Yes, for the semester.
And then I just want to also make this observation that that what they offer is intervention, and the curriculum, the teachers, what happens with those students has never been a responsibility of Elite Game Changers. The administration, previous and current, will choose the curriculum, how many teachers that are there, how many teacher aides are there. They will guide that process, how the student is referred, how the principal sends the student, how that information gets to Ms. Shannon Marlin. It is managed by Peoria Public Schools. And when I hear people say that Elite did not teach children, they never had that responsibility. Their responsibility, when you say curriculum, certified teacher, referral, all the things that go with educating any student, be that student in Game Changers, at a respective building, that's the custody of Peoria Public Schools exclusive. And so I know there's been a lot of, language going around, everybody's talking about it, all these narratives. But I encourage us, before we start posting and talking about stuff, just check the facts, because that's how people get so upset and people get so irritated, because there is a misunderstanding. And I just want us to be clear. I want to be clear with the public. That is the responsibility of Peoria Public Schools. And our new administration has inherited what the old administration has done. The fact that we have incomplete audits from 2024-25 inherited. Should have been addressed 2 years ago, but it wasn't. Now here we are. And so going forward, it's going to take all of us on the same team saying the same thing and not spilling and running with narratives and all these theories and foolishness that has been flying across the globe because people don't fully understand how this works. And as a board member, I'm willing to talk to anybody, to ask or either answer questions, but I think we need to give some due diligence to this new leadership team. They are 30 days in, and they are figuring it out because they inherited it. So let's be fair. More than anything, like problem solvers. And I try to be a problem solver. That's why I've donated money, time, and everything to this district for the last 30 years, raised my sons in this district, because I believe in public education. And to that point, because I believe in it, I invest in it. My students are here, our money's here, and my time, more than anything, has been here. So I encourage everybody who has the love and the passion for building futures for our community, volunteer, come serve, find out. We have a robust volunteer program. You got to get registered with the district. You got to pass a background check. There's a lot of things that need to happen to keep qualified people in front of our children. But let's build this together and not divide it because we misunderstand things. Thank you so much. There is a motion on the floor. There is a second. You want to make a statement? Yes. All right. Thank you. Turn your mic on.
Dr. Wilson, in your amendment, this amendment is offering to, with the, are we working with a lead on the amendment as well?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Because they recognize that, we are not in a good place, and they offer to do this, the amendment, or?
Dr. Bell?
Yes.
I thought you did.
Yes.
That's a question for.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a
thank you.
question for Dr. Bell.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. Yes, ma'am, absolutely. We've been in, my administration and I have been in correspondence with Elite,
Okay,
Mr. Cannon.
good.
And they have graciously agreed to, in the interim, while, the intergovernmental agreement as well as the MOU are recrafted, to start working with our students next week.
Okay, good, because they have lots of students already, so, thank you.
Yes, Ms. Howard?
To just clarify, so this is one semester that we're giving with Elite,
Yes.
because this is the 11th hour, and
Correct.
if his contract fell through today and there was no amendment or backup or anything, we'd kind of be scrambling. So my understanding is that by mid-year, second semester of this year, we will be running as a district our own in-house.
Well, no, it's just where we are today is where we are today. And so we are giving grace to the new team who inherited this. We're also extending grace to our student population that need it. And so I think in wisdom, when we understand hardships and where people come from, our fiduciary responsibility is to educate all children. That's the privilege of public school. Private schools get to interview kids and say yay or either nay. That's the privilege of a private institution. Public schools, we receive whoever lives in the zip code. And so to that point, I think we have to see the broader spectrum and the greater good. And so what this motion is saying we will go forward understanding that the legal team is involved. George McKenna, Dr. George McKenna from the regional office is involved. And that understanding that this agency invoices monthly anyway. So it's not like we're about to hand them this purse of money and they're about to run off into the sunset, like some entities have done with hotels. You understand me? With Peoria public money, county money, some people have got purses and ran off with. This is not that. This is a invoiced entity that will be invoiced, and when that invoice comes, Peoria Public Schools will have it, and they'll go to the regional office with it, or they'll invoice straight to the regional office. But it also gives us accountability, it gives the regional office oversight, and it allows us a season of some time to get our audit corrected, because that is a crowning issue. So does that give you clarity? All right, thank you. Mr. Diaz.
You actually said something I want to ask. Are we invoiced in arrears or are we paying up front? It's not concluded in the contract. That's why I'm asking.
It is invoiced. How is it invoiced?
I believe, and Dr. McKenna, you can speak more clearly to this, if you don't mind, because I don't want to misspeak.
Sure. So the concept behind what we're going to do as far as making sure that the money flows out to the appropriate entities, we are only entering into an agreement with Peoria Public Schools. We are not entering into an agreement with any other entity.
Correct.
Peoria Public Schools then will enter into an agreement with any entity that might provide service to them. That entity that Peoria Public Schools has a contract with for services will invoice Peoria Public Schools. Peoria Public Schools will then take that invoice and develop an invoice of their own and send that to the ROE. Then we'll process payment and send it to Peoria. And then how it gets to any other service provider will be up to Peoria and their normal everyday procedures.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Ms. Rose.
Can we just get clarity from Dr. Bell and Dr. Curry that process, we can make that process work as a team?
Sorry, was the question, can we make the reimbursement model work with?
Yeah, will this model
yeah.
work for our district?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we still have a motion on the floor. You have a question? Yes, ma'am.
So in this memorandum of understanding, the payment terms are incomplete. It does say that we will be paying $624,000, which I understand the motion on the floor is half of that.
It's been substituted.
Right, but it doesn't say anything about payments being due, payments upfront monthly. And I know last year with this specific program, we did do a big cash payout, or not cash payout, but we did several payments of $50,000, but then I think it was in November, we paid out $450,000 in one big payment. So
Well, and
this
that was-
MOU, maybe this is for the attorneys. So in this MOU, the payment terms are absolutely incomplete. And I have a lot of other concerns with the MOU, which also gives me hesitation to vote because you mentioned that you guys are going to need to make a bunch of revisions. How do we vote on this tonight, not knowing what the revisions are? I mean, I don't know if my concerns match your concerns.
It is going to be, and the motion on the floor is that it's going to be subject to
Subject
attorney
to legal,
review
yes.
and approval to ensure that the grant, the grant language and
Are you guys going
those legal
to add things
implications.
too, like termination
Yes.
clauses and
Yes,
limited
those are
liability? There's a lot of things that are missing in this thing.
Those are absolutely issues that we identified that need to be changed. So this would be something, and again, Dr. Bell spoke with Elite, and that's something they're willing to do to start the school year, but this is something that we're going to be hammering out in the background to ensure protection for the district, right? And to ensure that the parties understand the absolute terms of the agreement.
Not knowing what all of those are, how should we be confident voting on this tonight?
Because we're having services, no comments from the gallery, please. So the
We don't
motion
know
on
what
the
the
floor.
revisions will be, is I guess what I'm saying.
Well, we know that the services will be provided on Wednesday, August the 5th. So that is what we do know. And I'm good with that because we need the services. So the motion on the floor, if there's not any other different question, we need to entertain this motion. Yes, sir.
So, Dr. Bell, if we don't pass this, as Ms. Howard asked, we'd be scrambling. Are we not able to take in any students that would otherwise go to Elite on day one?
No, we will be able to take in students on Wednesday of next week, But I can assure you, Mr. Diaz, that Mr. Cannon has graciously agreed to work with us, gentleman's agreement, so that we can ensure that he receives remuneration for the services provided starting on Wednesday.
Sure, turn your mic on.
Legal can, say whatever, but we have in the past, MOUs are usually after you vote on a contract. MOUs are always negotiated between the two, and things are added and things are taken away. And then, but that's an administrative move. We're voting on the amount of the contract.
Is the question whether we would have done it this way? Probably not. I mean.
Yeah, because that was how, everybody wanted it in there. We usually don't do it this way.
No, I mean, is the question whether or not this would have been pursuant to an MOU? Probably not. I would have probably, done it via vendor contract. The terms are in an MOU. We can call it an MOU for all intents and purposes. We are drafting a binding contract. And we will be doing that, again, subject to attorney review. So it's your prerogative, Ms. Wilson, to be concerned about what is or isn't in the contract. You've discussed that. But I think you're talking necessarily about the process. It shows up on the agenda, and then the parties typically review it. In a perfect world, Ms. Ross, we would have done that prior.
All right, motion still on the floor.
So I have questions still on the contract, or on the MOU.
But you are talking about something that is a document, a work in process. So why, will you let them work that out, and then they can send it to you, and then you can problem solve with them? To ask any more questions about a agreement, I don't know what the point is,
Well,
because legal is representing us. Legal's not going to allow us to be anything that's not fiduciary, and the Regional Office of Education is also on board to give oversight. So with that, you have how many questions
I still
about
have
this
questions.
MOU? How many questions?
Ma'am, can I ask my questions?
Yeah, if it's
Okay,
going to be
so
relevant
as
to
part
this
of the-
motion.
It is.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to understand, is the staff list that is part of this MOU currently, is that all the staff that's going to be provided from both the district side as well as Elite?
Currently, we're still working on that piece, but at this time, I will ask Dr. Andrews and Dr. Bond, part of my wonderful administrative leadership team, to come before the podium, before the microphone at the podium, to perhaps answer the questions that
Do that.
Mr. Diaz has asked. Okay. And if you will, Mr. Diaz, will you repeat the question to Dr. Andrews and/or Dr. Bond?
So what we do have so far as part of this, what is the outlay or output of the district as part of Elite, working with Elite? And is this the complete list of then staff that Elite would be bringing to the picture?
Are you talking about the chart that is
Yes.
embedded in there?
Yes.
Yeah, that is what was submitted by Elite. And then we supply the certified teacher for them.
One teacher or two?
There's one that I am aware of.
For the 50 children?
Well, it's
Okay.
23 now. What we will start with Wednesday, it's 22 or 23 students. Well,
26?
Let's not split hairs on the number right now.
Well,
It's
one.
22, 23. That's about the size of a typical classroom.
Is that in line with what we have with our contract with the teachers union in terms of teacher-student ratio? Are we staying in compliance with our contracts with the teachers union?
Right now, it is with the 22 students that we will start with.
Okay. So as part of this, and I've gotten a lot of comments and questions, we get grief about the amount of administration and overhead. As part of this, only 33% of the entire if we went with the 624,000, is dedicated to student services. The rest is a CEO, a CFO, an executive director, an intake, a data, and a transportation. The school district provides all of these or has staffing for all of that internally already, correct? We need to have additional administrators to the tune of about $430,000. Well, if we went with the whole thing, 200,000 of the 300. Or could we actually put in some certified teachers instead of having a $83,000 executive director?
It's a possibility.
Okay, and we've got $100,000 or $92,000 in insurance, fuel, and other miscellaneous supplies. These are things that we already provide as a district, correct?
For our other students, yes.
For our other students. So is there a reason that we're duplicating the services through Elite versus utilizing our own resources?
It's up to the board. It's up to the board to decide.
So
This
you're.
is just what was submitted to us as their ask for this school year.
So are you saying that the board should decide if we pay fuel and insurance and executive director, or is this the recommendation of the teaching and the professional administrative staff that this is the best use of the taxpayer dollars?
That's really not for me to decide. I'm not the superintendent.
I don't want to cut you off, but I don't know if Dr. Andrews is the individual capable of answering those questions, Mr. Diaz. No, and I don't want to step on anyone's time or toes, but we're talking about provisions in the contract that we're going to look at, and I think that would be something that we would hash out with Elite.
Yes.
If this is
Yes.
Will we see another draft of this then before it's like finalized, or what will that, because I guess that's the hesitation, is some of us don't
Yes, you
want.
will see
Yeah,
it.
we will circulate drafts. In doing it this way, we are able to go ahead and get those services in place with the understanding that this is what the board wants to do for the first semester of the 26-27 school year. We will circulate drafts. Obviously, there's going to be some back and forth about these specific terms, and an understanding and maybe more questions. Mr. Diaz for the Elite team, and then ultimately for administration, once they've had the chance to get together on that about what that looks like.
Thank you. Just a minute, Ms. Ross. Yeah, turn your mic on.
I have to keep my mic. I think we need to be educated on what happens when a child is expelled from school. Okay, from school. They can't be on a bus with some kids that are going to school, or we have to provide. But there's a lot to work out if kids are going to be transported and that kind of thing. But I want to say, unless we are going to evaluate every single contract that we give out in this manner, we are not going to just choose just because of the color of their skin or whatever. We're not going to do that.
Ma'am.
Hold your thought, just a minute. She is speaking. You
I
will
mean,
speak
every single
when
contract
she's
that
done.
we give out, I don't know what our budget is, if we ever find out what it really is, But the last I looked, we were over a $200 million organization, and we give so many contracts to a lot of people, and nobody ever asked the question as to why this person is getting this much and why is this person getting this much. This is not the way we operate. I don't even know if it's legal.
Thank you, Ms. Ross. Okay, turn your mic off. Yes, Mr. Diaz.
So in all the contracts that have come before this board in the last month, I have been asking 1,000,001 questions. All right, so please, as a Latino, as somebody who has been in this community, that's insulting.
Okay, thank you.
Now, but I do have, again, this is about the taxpayer dollars and what we have seen as results.
Okay, thank you.
I've done some data harvesting off of what little data I've been able to get, and I don't have a feeling that our district has ever reviewed it. And what my fear is that we continue on doing the same things and expecting different results, instead of understanding maybe the story with these students, as Ms. Ross mentioned, that when a kid gets expelled, they can't ride the bus. With some of these stories, when you look at the students in the last 5 years that have been through this program, they may not just have an issue of an attitude. It could be that house burnt down, there's other circumstances. Elite isn't necessarily always the one solution, but that we've not done a data review of this program that has received millions of dollars from us. And I acknowledge, I've seen people that have gone through, and I believe that there are change stories. But I also know that we have 12,650 some students, based on your report today, Dr. Bell, that we also have to consider when we think about how we spend resources. This isn't against any program, this is against.
Thank you. No comments from the gallery. Now, we still have the motion on the floor, and the data research, many of us who are on the board have done the research, and I vote on, I am informed when I make those decisions. To this point, we have a motion on the floor. I think we have exhausted all of the, discussion.
one final.
I have a second on the floor. At this point, you vote your conviction, and then as the attorney has said, that it's a documented process, and you will see it, and you will be able to see what is happening with that document. One question, Ms.
Yep.
Rose?
I just wanted clarity from legal. With all the revisions that are being discussed, is there any case where this would not be a first semester only thing?
The board's only approving for the
We're
first
only-
semester.
we're
I
only
mean,
approving
my
for-
understanding is the motion on the
Just the
floor.
one semester.
Okay,
Just the
thank
one
you for that
semester.
clarification.
And that goes to Ms. Howard's earlier point, which is, once that's done, we're going to be back here talking
Yes.
about what that looks like in future.
Okay.
Okay.
I have one final question,
Yes,
please,
sir.
for our CFO. What's our balance in the education fund today?
I think I was pretty clear on Monday that I can't tell you that answer, what our exact balance is. I can tell you your ins and outs, but I cannot tell you your exact balance because we don't have audited books that give us concrete numbers.
Have we received a disbursement from the state, the county, the city, any of
Yeah,
that
we've
kind of thing?
received, yeah, I mean, I know how much money's in the bank, but we have received our first half of our property taxes. It came in June, and then evidence-based funding will start flowing here in the next few weeks. So I'm not sure where you're going with the question, but I can't tell you the exact balance.
I'm just trying to figure out if we got an invoice for $300,000 divided by $100,000 for the, for the first half of the year or first, quarter or whatever, can we afford to pay? Do we have the money in the bank?
Yes, we have the money in the bank.
Okay.
All right, thank you. There is a motion on the floor. It's been moved, it's been properly second. Madam Secretary, for the roll.
Mr. Diaz,
No.
Mrs. Howard,
Aye.
Mrs. Rose,
Yes.
Mrs. Ross,
Are your
Mrs.
mic on?
Wilson,
Nay.
Dr. Wilson,
Aye.
President McCall.
Aye.
We have 5 ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. At this time, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, thank you all for being here, and thank you for your patience.